Hey guys, Doug the Michigan Piper here in the pipe rest, and a little bit of a change up today. I ordered one of these, actually here, little microphone things you get off Amazon, and we'll see how it works. But I realized it didn't plug into my phone because of the case that I have on my phone. So I took the case off my phone, and then I realized it wouldn't go in my holder right because my phone holder holds from the ends, which this thing plugs into the end. So I had a heck of a time getting this thing set up, but we're there. So I don't know why I just blew that out. Don't ask me. Tonight I'm smoking in my Peterson 314 P-Lip. Some half and half, believe it or not. Pat Paladin Piper would be very proud. I don't usually smoke half and half. I loved it when I first tried it, but I think it was because it was something new. And so I don't smoke it a whole lot. But tonight didn't seem like a bad idea. So we're going to try it tonight. Drinking some Fever Tree Premium Ginger Beer as well, which is horrible for you, but it's small enough cans. We'll let it go by. Not a whole lot going on, you guys. The issue that I brought up in my last video is starting to calm down. I had another meeting since then, and as I figured, things are starting to the dust is starting to settle a little bit. Still not the most comfortable situation or situation you want to be in, but it is what it is. Yeah, half and half is not bad, you guys. I mean, I thought when I first smoked it, it was going to be something that I'd have all the time, and it's really not. And I can be honest with you that most of the time when I consider smoking it, I'm like, no. But once in the blue moon, I like it. So, yeah, not too bad. I saw in the news that Pete Hegseth, which, apologies, you guys, I can't remember what his title is, something like the defense secretary or something like that. He brought all of the admirals and generals and whatever, high brass to Washington, I think, or Pentagon or something, to explain to them that in so many words, no more woke. Now, this is a pipe channel, and most pipe channels don't talk too much about politics. I get that. But I wanted to applaud that move because I've had to deal with that myself in the fire service. I may have talked about it on here before, but I had a young lady that applied for our fire department. And right before the test, one of my guys came up to me and said, "Hey, what do you think about lowering the physical agility test requirements for the females?" I'm like, no. This is a super nice guy I actually look up to. And he kind of looked at me. I can't remember if he asked me why not or if the look just said, why not? But I said, listen, I don't care that she's a female. because the fire doesn't care that she's a female. It's not like when she walks into that front door, the fire's going to go, oh, it's a female. Let's dial things down a little bit. So I didn't lower them, and she failed. But that's not the end of the story. She came back about 6 months later when we were hiring again, and she passed. Not only did she pass, but she got the job. And as I was leaving that department, it's about 4 or 5 years ago, I was leaving that department. They're giving my going away, party. She stood up and gave me this, talk about thank you for giving me the opportunity, and thank you for doing this for me, and hiring me, and blah, blah, blah. And at that moment, that was that's what I wanted, right? Because when she was done, I said, look, I didn't give you anything. You earned that position. You did the same thing everybody else in this room did, like, the full timers. I didn't give that to you. And the reason why I didn't give that to you is because you still made it. So for the rest of your career, nobody can say, well, the chief got her that job. And I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that. I'm not arrogant about it. But I'm very proud of the fact that she earned it. I'm proud of her. And I told her that day, I'm proud of her. She earned it on her own merit. The fire doesn't care, you guys. And I could play the, oh, well, yeah, well, she's not as strong, so we'll let her in. But then I'm the one that has to live. Thank God it didn't happen, but I would be the one that would have to live with somebody dying on scene because she couldn't get to him or she couldn't drag him out. Even if that wasn't the case, even if nobody could have got to them, that would always be hanging over her and over me, is that she was the female that couldn't get somebody out. So when Hegseth did this, I applauded it. I mean, I really did, because it's not about being chauvinistic or I don't know if bigoted is a word, but it's not about thinking women can't do the job. It's about the fact that when the defense of my country comes between one man's hand over here and one man's hand over here, or a woman's hand, I want my hand, the hands that are on my side, to be the stronger pair of hands. Women can do a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff that men can't. Childbirth in itself is a incredible ordeal, and I can't explain to you. I don't know if I have enough time to explain to you in one video what a wife can do for you if you don't already know. A lot of people get on Christians because, oh, you say the wife has to submit, but what they don't realize is the word submission has been so twisted that they don't even understand how it's designed. I'll be the first to say, yes, a wife is supposed to submit in marriage. However, submission does not mean yes, master. Submission does not mean I can treat her however I want. So submission does not mean that she has to be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. You get a good woman that's confident, that stands behind her husband and gives him. See, and that's the thing. I was thinking about this today, you guys. And I'm going down a whole rabbit hole I never even planned on going down. But I was thinking about today. It's like we've got it so twisted, right? It's like you have these women that are like, well, I'm not submitting to him, and I know more than he does, and I can do this better, and blah, blah, blah. You know what? That might be true. But the way God designed marriage is that she is his helper. If she knows how to do something better, she's to bring that to him. And instead of bringing it to him, being like, hey, idiot, you're not doing it right. It's, hey, how about this? And as a man, as a husband, we take the role of humility, not to say shut up and then use the idea, right? It's to say, thank you, honey. I love you. That's an awesome idea. Can't believe I didn't think about it myself. And you go at it as a team. I can tell you that my wife is a very, very strong-willed person. Very strong-willed person. Type A. However, she knows that when we have a disagreement in our marriage, and we have to come to a decision, it's my decision. Now, that doesn't mean she bows down to me and I sit on a throne. That means actually a lot of the opposite is she defers to me and then I hold that responsibility. So if it goes south, that's on me. And a lot of guys just don't get that, you know. Scripture says we're supposed to love our wives like Christ loved the church, up to the point of even giving your life for her. And I get so irritated when I see these husbands that like have skimmed across the top of the Bible. They've heard a couple verses, eye for an eye, woman will submit, that kind of stuff, and they run with it. Just drives me nuts. It's like they have no clue how marriage is supposed to work. When you do it God's way, your wife will never feel like she is lesser. And I pray that my wife doesn't feel that way. My wife and I just celebrated 34 years of marriage yesterday. And we've had our ups and downs. We've had our rough spots. But she knows at the end of the day, I love her. And she also knows that I'm nothing without her. Like I am missing a huge part of who I am without her. So you guys, that was a huge, deep rabbit hole I never expected to go down, and we're already 14 minutes into this video. So I'm gonna leave it there. Just give you some things to think about, I guess. And if you disagree with me, please put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear it. So thanks for listening to me ramble on to something that came out of nowhere. Guys, I do hope that you're all doing well. Until next time, you take care.